Well, on the eve of a great festival that is to be celebrated throughout India tomorrow, the Festival of Colors, I am going to speak something on that in particular and something on the festivals that we generally celebrate throughout the year. The purpose of having this stream on is to uh, let people be reminded of what we have been doing or they have been doing or misdoing or not doing that has resulted in our festivals getting seen as being degenerated. We ourselves feel sometimes that the spirit of the celebration is almost killed, and what is being done is the show of money and muscle and degenerated concept of the celebration that should be otherwise very healing, very reinvigorating, and very joyous. That is not happening. So, as I have perceived the ways in which societies in India celebrate festivals, I'm not sure that these ways are all right because people get killed, people have quarrels, people come into conflicts, fatal conflicts, and lots of road rages, lots of negatives have come up, have been reported, have been experienced by people in different parts. And this is very grievous. This is very sad sort of thing that has been happening over the years, particularly in the last 30, 35 years, because 30, 35 years time is a pretty good time. And people have gone the wrong ways. No morality. Morality is not to be sort of. Morality is something, self-discipline that you observe or you experience or you live through only to be safe, only to be happy, because life cannot be absolutely free. Like we are human beings, we are civilized, we are not animals. Even animals have certain ways to behave. They behave the ways that nature has imposed on them or nature has put into their so-called minds, and they live according to those what you call guidance or guidelines that nature has imposed on them. Human beings are civilized, human beings are imaginative, human beings have to be more and more civilized. But in the light of the development in technology, particularly the medium that I'm using now, YouTube and other social media, uh, 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 social media, you can say platforms, you see mostly they are being misused. So I'll be speaking about festivals, what they are, and how festivals are celebrated all over the world uh, in the name of different religions, different cultures, different civilizations, different histories. But human beings, wherever they are, they have been celebrating festivals or important days in the year or in a year. And these days are experienced differently or lived differently. People have their own beliefs and faiths, and according to their beliefs and faiths, according to their mores, according to their lifestyles, they celebrate. In India, uh, uh, you have many, many festivals. Almost every month you have some festival. But important festivals come every 3 months, every 4 months. Take, for example, altogether we have 12 months in a year. And if you start, suppose, with the very first month of the year, January, then you have a festival called Makar Sankranti. And that is a day in the month of Hindu month uh, Magh, or that is, yes, that is in mid-January, that people visit rivers and even seas, ponds and all, to have a holy day, because they believe that on a particular day, when they have a bath in the holy rivers, most importantly in the Ganges, then and they get absolved of their sin, or they get refreshed. The dirty things in their mind, the dirty things in their body, the diseases and all that, they leave them and they become healthy, and they start living again uh, effectively, with energy they work, and with hope they look forward to their days ahead. Festivals are punctuations in the continuity of, you can say, life as restless life. Human beings have to earn. Human beings have to work a lot in order to earn a living, in order to be fed, in order to be dressed, in order to be housed, in order to take care of the dependents in the family. They have to work very hard. So as week and days are there for people to stay home and rest and do household chores, which remain pending for the whole week, uh, particularly in the cases of the people who are all out for work. I mean, the parents, the wife and the husband, the children go to school. There may be someone at home, maybe the grandmother or the grandfather or relative who is not in a position to work out. So a child or a couple of children, growing children, are left to the care of a member who is not in a position to work out while the parents are out. So that system is increasing, or that sort of way of life is increasing everywhere in the cities, the rural areas as well. People work in the fields, in the factories, people work in the offices, people work in schools, colleges, universities, people work in government offices. So, uh, so many, you can say, problems are there. Life becomes extremely hackneyed, without any excitement. As machines, people work, and then, of course, when you have holidays in the name of festivals, then you become happy. You look forward to having some days off. So, in the month of January, that you have, in the month of February, suppose March, you have in yes, uh, towards the end of February or in the beginning of March, you have two important festivals. The one is the festival celebrated by praying the goddess of learning, Saraswati Puja. We have Basant Panchami also, that is called Basant Panchami Pujanotsav, and especially the institutions, organizations related to education or related to training, related to up skilling people and making them capable of working in the factories, in the offices and all. So Saraswati Puja, then you have the Holi festival. And tomorrow is the 7th of March, and tomorrow the festival of colors, that is called Holi festival. In some places it is called festival of the month of Falgun, because this is the month of Falgun, and Holi generally happens or occurs in the month of Falgun. And then if you move on to the depth of the year, you have other festivals, for example, Durga Puja, or the festival of the goddess of what you call goddess of power, goddess of Shakti, Durga and Puja. Calcutta, where I'm speaking from, is famous all over the world, or is known all over the world for organizing Durga Puja on a grand scale. You have hundreds and hundreds of pandals, hundreds and hundreds of places where statues or images or idols of the goddess Durga installed, decorated, kept neat and clean, and worshipped particularly 3 4 days, starting from Sasti or the 6th day, of the 10-day festival. And the seventh day, the eighth day, the ninth day, and the 10th day, you have the final prayers and the final worship, and then the goddess or the image of the goddess or images in hundreds and thousands rather, they are taken to the immersion ghats on the banks of the rivers, even on the beaches, to be, you can say, what you call, to be given send off with the request to the goddess that she will be back the coming year with more prosperity and happiness for the people. Now, uh, the theme of my stream is that festivals are great occasions, but then we have not been observing festivals as civilized people, as educated people in the real sense of the term. Take, for example, the festival, the holy festival, the festival of colors. Many people, including myself, are afraid of going out tomorrow because you have hoodlums or you have not. You celebrate the festivals in the right way. You play with colors or you sprinkle water or colored water on the bodies of the people you know, your friends or relatives, and that also your friends, all your friends may not like the way you want to play the color festivals, what you call Holi. So, means play the way you like with the people who also wish to play like you. Means those people who fall in your line and those who are willing, that's all right. But when pedestrians or people who have to go out on some work, important work, some people have to go to hospitals, some people have to go to uh, their gardens to see how things are in the gardens, or you are out on your own business. But people from the top of the buildings or from towers or from the top branches of the trees, you are hiding and you pour down dirty water or colored water or even coloring things, powders and all that, and that is very much harassing. That is very much disturbing. So many people, they are afraid to go out, or they decide not to go out at all. And how bad this is, that every day you want to go out, you go out for the work, and tomorrow you don't go because you are afraid you might be splashed with colored waters, or you might be smeared with powder. You might come into tiffs with people because you would like them to play among themselves, but they would be, you can say, what you call, they would be rough and tough and they would be misbehaving with you. So the fear of getting misbehaved with prevents you from going out, and this is a negative thing. Festivals should be celebrated in the spirit, because tomorrow's festival is the festival of the victory of the virtues over the vices. The story goes like this: that Hiranyakashipu was an arrogant ruler, and he was very proud of his power. He was proud of his wealth and his uh, resources, and he didn't have faith in the divinity. He didn't believe in any power above him, in any power stronger and mightier than him. And if God is a power, the supreme power, it is not that he is proud or arrogant or he misuses his might. God is supposed to be the caretaker of all the creatures in the world. The entire universe is protected and conducted and directed and saved because of His grace. If you believe in, otherwise, if you don't believe in, then okay, the world is, the world has been, the world would not be there. The world is all good or all bad. There will be a kind of anarchy. And there are people, crores of people in the world who don't believe in gods and goddesses. They are atheists. There are people who believe in gods and goddesses, the power of the divinity, the the reality they think that exists, that divine power, you can say, makes our fate and gives us things, and they have given us everything to use, but we start misusing the things given to us by the Almighty. So festivals that Hiranyakashipu, I was telling about him, and he had a sister Holika, and he had a son Prahlad. But in the same families, you see how people are different. Hiranyakashipu was arrogant and very proud of his power, and very rough and tough, and he wouldn't be polite. He wouldn't be able, or he wouldn't be tolerating any words in the praise of the divine power. There are some people believed that divine powers are, and they have been, and they will continue to be as long as the universe lasts. So Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill his own son, Prahlad, because he was not happy with him. The son would remind his father that it was a sinful thing not to think of the existence of God, and he would suggest to him that he should accept the sovereignty of the supreme power. He should accept the what do you call the greatness and grandeur of God. But the father would listen, and he would be so much irritated, or he would so much be what you call faulted by his son, according to him, that he would like to get rid of him. And Holika, she had a kind of blessing that she had done something good, so she had got a blessing that nothing harm would come to her, even if she happens to be in the middle of the flames. Means even if she is in the fire, and that is too intense and too deep, and if she happens to be in the center of that kind of heat, that kind of fire, she wouldn't be harmed, she wouldn't get burnt, she would remain alive. So she suggested to her brother that if he wanted to get his son Prahlad killed, then she could help him by taking the child in her laps, and she would sit in the fire, in the you can say raging fire, and the child Prahlad, the growing child, uh, he would cease to live, he would be burnt to ashes, and she would come out. Holika, after the total burning of the body of Prahlad, she would come out, and the work will get done. So that was not to happen, because Prahlad had the blessing of the divine power. Prahlad was to be saved by the divine power, because he was on the right track, and he was in the right set of thinking that the whole world was ruled by some power, and all human beings and all creatures and everything in the universe lived, or you can say um, uh, lived or existed because of the will of our makers. So, to celebrate, you can say that the evil, you can say, uh, people like Hiranyakashipu and his sister, so many other people who might have helped them, or who might have been in their army. So, the defeat of the evil forces, and victory of Prahlad, because he did not get any harms, and he came out with flying colors. He came out intact. He came out with smiles on his face, and he came out with his thankful heart to the saviors, the God and all. So that is, so colors and all that. Well, people put colors on the faces, on the bodies of friends and relatives. That's a good thing. But see how on the day of the Holi, throughout India, so many people die. Even people who are enemies, they take the occasion. They think that, well, this particular day they can do anything, and they won't be punished by laws, because they would have the alibi, or they would have the excuse that the deaths happen because of the festival. In the festival, people are free to do things like that. But you suppose do such bad things that other people, you can say, get affected. They even lose their lives. So enmity is, you can say, what you call, it's executed, or you settle scores with your enemies, if they are, or you settle scores with the people you don't like, or if not that extreme thing happening, then you have suppose colors and eyes are, you can say, affected, hair is affected, the whole body is affected, people get even suppose maimed and crippled. This is something very bad. So in all the festivals we have like that. People go out with the images during Durga Puja for immersion, and then on the ways and they dance under the influence of alcohol and all, and they become very rough and tough to the passers-by. They even go, what you call, harassing people or molesting the girls and women who are along the ways, and they just stand by to see how the procession goes off. But then these ruffians on the trucks, they do all sorts of bad things. So these are not the ways. They say that law enforcing agencies are there, policemen are there, even policemen are supposed numbered. Human beings, the spectators, the common people are there. But whenever some five, six bad people, they happen to harass 200 innocent people and armed people, then the 200 people, they remain silent. Even five among them are, you can say, harassed, and the rest don't come to their rescue, and they just turn away. They don't do anything. And they pose as if they don't see anything bad happening. And the criminals or the criminal elements, they have their heydays on the days of festivals, mercies, and all that. So all festivals in India, particularly, which is the second most populous country in the world, and illiteracy is so much, education is not even. You have certificates with the people that they have got the degrees, they have passed the examinations, and so they are degree holders, but there is no quality of education because there is no discipline. Simply having a certificate in the hands, simply having, suppose, degrees, that doesn't mean. Self-discipline means if you want to live, you have to let other people live. If you want to live happily, you don't have to disturb other people's happiness. But no, those people who are muscle men, those people who have money, power, so you harass the people who are powerless, physically powerless or money-wise powerless. And then you have many layers in society. 5-10% people are good, and they are law abiding, they are peace loving people, they don't harm others, they keep quiet, they do their chores, household chores, they do their activities normally, but they never intend to do any harm to others. But there are people, they are sadistic and they are very cruel and very bad, very rough, very tough, and they enjoy harassing others, troubling others, even crippling others physically, and even murdering others. And the law and order agency, they don't do anything. They are the people mostly, they are in the jobs because they have bribed the recruiting agencies. So they get the jobs on the strength of the bribes, and then they take the bribes back in terms of they take their money back in terms of having receiving bribes from the common people, and they don't have any fear. They don't get punished. Even courts and all, many of the judges, they are arrested sometimes, and they are you can say they are convicted that instead of judging the cases fairly, they you can say they take bribes and they side with the criminals and they punish the innocents. uh, and this is happening, means 5-10% cases are there where you have justice. 90-95% cases are such where you don't have justice. The moneyed people, the muscle people, the physically strong people, the nexus people, the people who make gangs and all that, the people who are you can say interconnected, the politicians, the police, the criminals, the business tycoons, industrialists, all these people. The more people you have, the more crimes you can commit. And if you are not organized, you live in your family and you know all your family members or some friends, and you don't have 500 people who can be called at any emergency need, you are left alone. So, festivals should be the days or the times or the periods when they should live happily, they should dress nicely, they should rest, they should do creative activity, they should be reading passages, they should be writing poems, there should be competitions, cultural competitions, spiritual competitions, but such things don't happen. People only go showing off and they buy things and then they you can say litter the roads and the streets. They buy food items and part of it is eaten and the most part of the amount of food wasted and thrown along the streets and roads. Uh, is that the civilized way of celebrating festival? Is that the civilized way of living, that we should not be wasting food grain or we should not be wasting any edible items that we buy. And even if you have lots of money, you buy, and if you don't eat, give to some people. And don't buy more than what you can consume. And if you have lots of money, you buy things, packets, and distribute among the poor. And I don't believe in poverty being allowed to continue. There should be no poor person in any society, in any country. Everybody should have the basics. So if you have lots of money, you make good use of that money for the welfare of society at large, for the pleasure and happiness of the people who don't have, so that they can have on the festive days some better, you can say, living experiences. But that is not happening. India is a very difficult country. You have societies divided in the names of religions and castes and all that. All people who are good belong to one caste, good caste people. And all people who are bad, they belong to bad caste because the words good and bad are there, and good and bad words have relevance because a bad day, a good day, a day when many people die, or suppose the days that we have had in the past coronavirus, and now so many kinds of viruses are affecting people. So good people have to be encouraged so that we have more good people and maximum good people. Bad people have to be discouraged. They have to be sidetracked. They have to be persuaded to get back to reformed ways. They should be given time also. They should be persuaded. They should be given lessons. But if they are bent on being stuck to the bad ways, then they should be punished, and they should be punished exemplarily so that the number of good people increases and the number of bad people decreases because of fear of punishment and all. So festivals all over the world. We have Christmas festival. Even on the Christmas days, we hear in many parts of the world violence takes place. One group of Christians busy celebrating their Christmas day, and opposed to the other group of people who celebrate Christmas in a different way. And then you have classes, you have churches of different denominations, you have conflicts everywhere. You have the Muslims, you have the people of Israel. So whenever festivals are, you can celebrate it, the people opposed to festivals, they create problems. And those who want to celebrate, they are not allowed. And even if they celebrate, they are in number, great number, they also exaggerate their celebration, or they, you can say, misuse their power and money and all that. So let us have festivals peacefully celebrated. Let us have festivals joyously celebrated. Let us have festivals coming to us as good days on which we create more, we live more nicely, more gentlemanly, and we remember our makers. Uh, Even if there are no makers, if you don't believe in God, believe in something, your soul, because when you do something good, your heart feels good and you feel better and you are more energized and you work in a better way. So, uh, something should be left to the unseen world also. Even if you are an atheist, you are a scientist, or you are a believer in things that are concrete, okay, all right. So believe in the concrete, but don't do anything that is concrete and that can affect others. My appeal to all the people in the world, in this part of the world, in Asia or Africa, Australia or America, North America, South, Other festivals are human festivals, and festivals of one community should be the festivals of other community also, if they like, and if not the whole community, whoever happens to like Christmas to celebrate, they should. They should celebrate in peaceful manner, in a graceful manner. So holy festivals or Durga Puja festivals or the Makar Sankranti festival or what you call Kumbh Melas and all that. And sometimes we have a stampede because people rush down. People want to have the important point of vision, vantage point of vision, and they compete. They don't compete actually. They deceive one another, and that is how many people get killed. Many people, suppose, get crippled because of the stampede, because of the jostling and mingling and all. So festivals are the welcome days in our life. They are opportunities for us to experience better life, to have friends made, to have good works done to one another, to have better feelings of life. But if we go the bad ways, the devil ways, then festivals only mar us. Many people die on the days of festivals and they don't celebrate. And if criminals die, okay, let them die. But innocent people, good people, peace-loving people, constructive people, they should not die. Because why should they die? Why should they be harmed? Because they are good people. Criminals, bad people, and they should be told that they are bad. They should not be continuing with their bad works. But if they persist doing the same thing, they should be punished. So that some sort of order is maintained, and people are afraid of misbehavior. People are afraid of bad actions because bad actions result in, suppose, punishments. And if the punishments are fairly administered and if the punishments are given in time, then bad things won't happen to the extent that they have been happening. So, this is my appeal to all the people in the world that let us celebrate our festivals, let us enjoy our festivals, let us see to it that we become better human beings on festival days. We should always remain good human beings, but better on festival days, so that everybody lives happily as long as everybody is destined to live. Thanks a lot. God bless us. Bye bye.